Hey cruisers, welcome back to our Tuesday night live stream. We're so happy to be here with all of you here. I hope everyone's doing great. If you have got a cruise planned, type it on into the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to comment then as well. I'd love to look at your comments and see where everybody is cruising this year. So exciting. I saw some very cool countdowns happening in the pre-chat. Everybody's pretty jealous about Joe's cruise. He's going on a cruise to Sydney, Australia for his 40th wedding anniversary. Joe, first of all, happy anniversary. There's something to be said for 40 years. There's also something to be said for you tolerating a 17-hour flight to Sydney. That is tough. We just did that 17-hour thing on the way back from Doha, Qatar, and I gotta be honest, I said to myself, never again. That was brutal. My ankles swelled up. It was ugly. It was bad. It was really bad. But it's so great to see everybody here. Wonderful to have all of you here. If anybody is part of our backstage crew on Patreon, be sure to type crew into the chat. We would absolutely love to see that after I watch the stream. I usually watch it a little bit later at night to see who is here. And PJ is actually on a ship right now on Carnival Vista having a good old time and joining us in the chat. I feel very honored whenever somebody actually watches this show on a cruise ship. That is really, really meaningful. So thank you. That says a lot and we really appreciate it. Look at all those backstage crew coming into the house. Cheryl, Dale, Emily, you guys are typing it as fast as I can read it. Peggy, Heather, I know Charles and Elizabeth are. Oh, look who is here. Shailene and Kurt. I haven't seen you guys in a while. How are you doing? August, are you doing the Mexican Riviera? Let me guess. Excited for you guys. Wherever it is you're going, you got to fill me in. Awesome, you guys. Love it. Well, I'm so happy that all of you are here. Kevin Steiner, looks like Kevin's got the first question coming on in tonight. Kevin said, is it good to use Easy Air or to book flights or book it separately? Okay, so Kevin, Easy Air, I think is Princess's program, right? Isn't that what theirs is called? There are two cruise lines where I love booking my air through the cruise line, and there are some that I do not. The two cruise lines that I prefer to book my air directly through the cruise line are Princess, Easy Air, and Royal Caribbean. I think it's called Air to Sea. I bet you that the travel agents who are here in the chat, I know Heather's here, I saw that, will tell you that there are a lot of benefits to booking through the cruise company with Princess and Royal Caribbean, and probably Celebrity too. I'm thinking Celebrity probably uses the same as Royal Caribbean, and if there's any agents in here or people who know that, let me know. But Easy Air is fantastic. There's a couple of reasons why we love it. Number one, you don't actually have to pay for your air until you pay for your final payment on the cruise, I believe. It's like 45 days or something like that, or 90 days. Whenever the final payment is due, I think that's when you pay for the Easy Air too. Also, if something goes awry with the air, Princess has to fix it. They have to get you to that cruise ship, and they're going to. They may not have answers. I have heard before where people booked it and they're like, well, I missed my flight, and they had a really hard time figuring it out, but they ultimately did figure it out. You know, they can't magically make a flight appear, but that is definitely one of the major benefits. Charles, great question. I believe the answer is yes. Please tell me that it is, because I've had no signs that over here it's not clear, but gosh, let's keep it that way. And thank you for asking. So, oh, V, I wish I was on the Oosterdam right now too. So Joe Doherty is saying that they use Carnival Fly to Fun with direct with Carnival. How did that work out for you, Joe? Is it a good program? Personally, I really like both Royal Caribbean and Princesses, and I've used Princesses many times. I think I've only done Royal Caribbeans maybe twice, and I had a really good experience. The other thing that people assume is that the air is going to be more expensive if you book outside of the cruise company, but honestly, usually it's cheaper. If they have bulk rates, they have contracts with the airlines, it's really good. So Jennifer said Carnival and Princess are the same air, but they call it different things. So then that's a good reason to consider doing the Carnival air too. Thank you, Jennifer. That's great. So yeah, All right, guys, keep those questions coming. Any other questions that you might have, please don't hesitate to let me know. I am more than happy to answer questions. I haven't seen any more questions coming in just yet, so I'm going to keep an eye on it, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Let's see, what do we have here? All right, Keith Anthony made a great point that Princess guarantees you will get to the ship. Yes, exactly. And Mike and Cheryl said, yes, the air is oftentimes cheaper. Yeah. Brian, countdown to Carnival Panorama in 12 days. That is amazing. Very cool. Anybody, if you typed a question and I missed it, please feel free to retype at this point. I don't think I missed any, but you are certainly welcome to jump in. Okay, so really interesting comment here from Wu-Tang Life saying, caution. Watch your personal items on long-haul flights overseas. There have been reports of stolen items while people are sleeping. Oh, that stinks. That's awful. And you assume you'll be fine, right? That stinks. Hortensia. Very exciting. That sounds so fun. Joe is saying that they really liked the Carnival Air program as well. So if anybody's wondering about the Carnival Air, sounds like Joe had a great experience with it. Used it on Mediterranean 26 on Vista. They guarantee if anything changes, they'll take care of you. Okay, cool. That is fantastic. I love hearing that. I think, Emily, I think Celebrity is the same as Royal's program. I'm pretty sure that they do have air to sea. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Yay, Charles, you guys are so close to your cruise with friends on Prima. I'm so jelly that you're going on Prima. Yeah. So it looks like, according to Joe, that air program through Carnival is also a really good money saver. Aw, yeah. Wow, Hortensia, Premier Plus Mini Suite comments on this cruise. You're going on a Royal Princess. You've never done a Princess cruise. More loyal to Royal Mini Suite. I've never done oh, I get it. So you got the Premier package, not the Plus package. So what you're saying is that you got a Mini Suite, Hortensia, and you got the Premier package. Plus and Premier are two different things. So great. Yes, you're going to have the time of your life. Hortensia is going on a cruise to the Mexican Riviera. The Royal Princess is a wonderful class of ship. There's so many things to enjoy. I highly recommend the Crown Grill, the steakhouse. Sabatini's is also really good, but I recommend Crown Grill. Ask for a booth if you can get one. Princess Premier, take advantage of it. Get all the specialty coffees. Fill your mini bar with water bottles. And another thing I would tell you that's very smart to do to take advantage of your Premier package on Princess is to use the room delivery service within the app. There is the part of the app called Ocean Now, and that is when you can order coffees to your room, cocktails to your room, and with Plus and Premier, those cocktails, they're the only cruise line that I know of where when you have a drink package, you can get room service of your cocktails to the room. So take advantage of that. Fly to fun. Okay, cool. Thank you, Joe. That's really, really helpful. Yeah, Mike and Cheryl, he's actually dealing with a little issue with our Final Cut software right now, so he's been bouncing back and forth between his two computers. That's why he's been a little bit less in the chat, but he's trying to resolve something really fast. So, yeah, Emily said the water bottle tip is so good. Yes, stock your fridge with water. By the way, it made me thirsty when you say that, Emily, so I'm like taking a sip of my water. Kevin's going on the Coral Princess to Alaska at the end of May. So I did put a poll at the top of the chat asking who is planning an Alaska cruise this season. I would love to hear from you all and see what everyone's up to if you're doing Alaska, yes or no. So answer the poll. I'm going to close the poll out in a moment. Dale asks, what is your favorite food or drink hack on Miracle? I have two for you. Number one, the soups at the Chopsticks station. So that's the Asian food station. They call it Chopsticks. In the buffet, the soups are exceptional, and the crew told me that. They clued me in. We were kind of met on the food the first few days, and the crew is like, do not sleep on Chopsticks and go get the soup every day. Sometimes it's wonton, sometimes it's seafood with noodle. Phenomenal every time I had it. Number two, And I know you're going to like this one, Dale. You can make your own healthy food bowl at Blue Iguana. Go over there and instead of a burrito, have them make you a bowl. Put whatever you want in the bottom. I would get a little rice, beans, and my favorite protein. They had pork, chicken, and I want to say they even had barbacoa sometimes. I would get pork, rice, and beans, and then I would go over to the toppings bar, and I would top it with all the veggies, all the lettuce, all the onions, radish, hot sauce, anything you want, sour cream, or here's your real hack. And I heard this one from my friend Susie at Cruise Yes Please. A lot of you know Susie. Go to Guy's Burgers. Get the meat patty without the bun, just the meat, and then go over to Blue Iguana and top it with all the salsas and the lettuces over there, and you have like a Mexican burger. Or you could even make a bowl with a burger meat on it. You could go get a bowl at Blue Iguana, rice, beans, go over to Guys, get a meat patty and stick it on there, and then top it with all the stuff from both of the bars. They're outside. So all the bars. I think you're going to enjoy. And let me know. Take a picture of your bowl, Dale, if you do it, okay? So fun. Wow, we're getting a really good busy chat going here. This is awesome. Thanks, Jennifer. That's great to know. Yeah, I heard about that, Alan. Alan from Australia said P&O Australia is switching over to Carnival at the end of March. Wild, huh? One of those things. I know that you guys down in Australia, we got to work on that. We got to get y'all some better ships. Wow, 107 nights, Alan. That's so cool. Linda, that sounds so fun. Keith doing Koningsdam. I love to hear that you guys are trying Holland America to Alaska. They have really long times in port compared to some of the other cruise lines, and they do Glacier Bay so well. I am very excited about Holland America's Alaska product. I love it, and I love the ship sizes. So if anybody's doing that, please do it. Okay, lots of great stuff coming into the chat here. Nice, Dina. Michelle, I've never been to Norway, but I'm trying to see if I can get to Norway this year, potentially. Because there could be a ban on cruise ships up there. Thanks, Liberty Cruiser. Good to know. Nice, Laura. Yeah, I think that Alaska, Emily, would be wonderful for your daughter's high school graduation present. That sounds really good. I love it. Okay. So here we have Sanch 621 said, I'm traveling on Holland America for the first time in October. My question is, can I purchase gratuity prior to sailing? I think you can prepay your gratuities on Holland America. Does anybody know? I don't see why not. Yeah. Yeah, isn't it great, Dale? That Glacier Bay experience is so good. Yeah, Mike and Cheryl, Liberty Cruiser is going to love Sun Princess, huh? So good. It's so beautiful. Sun Princess is a gorgeous ship. So Mike and Cheryl, question for you guys. We're turning around on you. Did you, as a seasoned Princess Cruiser, did you love Sun Princess? Did you love everything about it? I mean, it was really, really different. Cool, babe. I'm all caught up with those. Got them. I got Sanch and Michelle. Okay, so Queen of Fun Travel, thank you so much. Queen of Fun Travel is saying that you can indeed prepay your gratuities on Holland America. Thank you. Oh, interesting, Lisa T. What was the 20%? Was that gratuity? Oh, how fun, Joe. I am so jealous. You get to go to the Great Barrier Reef, huh? That was my dream. I visited Australia and New Zealand for a month when I was 16, and we couldn't make it to the Great Barrier Reef, and I was devastated. So it's my dream to go back, Joe. I'm going to make it. The pea soup. Dale is talking about a great hack for Holland America, you guys. Something you should know. And by the way, we have a really good Holland America cruise tips video. I love that video. In fact, I want to go on Holland America again this year. We had so much fun. We went on 2 Holland America cruises last year. I want to go on Holland America so bad that I actually refreshed my own memory by watching my own video, because we had not cruised with Holland America for such a long time that I felt like I was a newbie. when I cruised with Holland America last year. So I made very specific notes. I opened my little notepad on my phone and I would make very specific notes on things that I learned. And we put together a video covering all the stuff that we learned. And so let me put that video in the chat, and I'm also going to put it into the video description. And we talk about the laundry hack on Holland America. We talk about Orange Night, and we talk about all kinds of different dining hacks on Holland America. So there's a lot in there. If anybody's wanting to cruise Holland, or if you're just like kind of curious about it, I'm going to put that in the description too. There it is. That's in there. Okay, cool. I also wanted to tell you guys, speaking of Alaska, a special surprise for you all tonight. One of our longtime viewers, Alex Lewis, he said, would you please do an Amazon Live dedicated to only Alaska cruise essentials? And that's what we're doing after tonight's live stream. We're going to go over to Amazon Live and we're going to do only Alaska. So I'm putting that in the chat right now. It is also pinned to the top of the comments. I have all of my husband and I's outerwear and some layers all set aside to share with you guys. I have hiking boots, luggage, cruise essentials. So if you're shopping for Alaska this year, please either join us for that tonight or feel free to shop the replay afterwards. It'll be everywhere. If you're watching this on replay, it will be pinned to the top of the comments and in the description. And my sweater's swaying. I just got this sweater on Amazon, by the way, and it's so beautiful. I'll have a link for you guys. Nice. Mike and Cheryl, did you book the inaugural for Star? Good. Interesting, Lisa. Interesting. So they didn't have specialty to gratuity on Hal. Okay. Interesting. Oh, wow. Dawn, you're doing Explora too. That's going to be amazing. Yeah, that's great, Mike and Cheryl. You guys were totally into it. You embraced the new on Sun Princess, right? Yeah, that's interesting, Joe, about the fact that in Australia, the gratuities are bundled into your cruise fare. That's cool. Oasis of the Seas. Anybody have tips for Laura for Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas? I hear great things about Oasis of the Seas. I've heard that it's in great shape, that it's a nice one. I would say expect the pool areas to get potentially a little bit crowded. I have not been specifically on that ship, but get there early if you want to get a chair. Obviously, don't put your stuff down and then walk away, but get there early and stay with your chair if you want to get a pool spot. That I have heard. Okay, good. I'm glad, Brett, that NCL gave you good air, because those are the programs that make me nervous, is the cruise lines who make the air arrangements for you. That's always where I get a little more nervous. As a control freak, I feel a little bit uncomfortable with those, but that's great. Bill Bayungo, hi Bill. Bill said, I need some recommendations for something to do in Dublin, Ireland for the day. I've not been to Dublin. Who's been to Dublin? Anybody have any tips for Bill? I have an idea, Bill. I'm going to look on Shore Excursions Group's website and see what kind of excursions that they have for cruisers. Let's see. Dublin. What can Bill do in Dublin? Ooh. Oh my. There's a hop-on, hop-off bus that's only $39 through the Shore Excursions Group. There's a link in our video description if you want to book that. You just click on the link and then you plug in your cruise ship and then your date, and they pre-populate tours for every port. There's a highlights of Dublin tour that is only $54, and you get a local guide, and that one has 5 stars, and it's only 2.5 hours. You can do the Dublin Duck Tour by Land and Sea. I always love duck tours. They're those amphibious vehicles. They have a Dublin City by Night. They have an afternoon tea by Vintage Bus, where you have tea on a bus. It looks so cute. It's like this open bus, and they have like fancy tea out there. So the first thing I would do is get onto the Shore Excursions Group website. It looks like there's Castles of North Dublin with private transportation is only $150. There's some great stuff on there. Now I want to go to Dublin. Wow, this looks fun. They even have a Jameson whiskey distillery tour with private transportation, $90 a person. That would be fun. They have something called the Irish Food Trail, a 3-hour cuisine tour to learn all about Dublin and taste all the foods. $119, 3 hours. I mean, you've got so many things. So you could do the Cliffs of Moher. That looks great. You've got choices, Bill. Yeah, that's how I'd be doing it. All right. Ooh, yes. Mike and Cheryl said, question, thoughts on announcement for Celebrity River Cruises. You guys, did you hear about this last week? Thank you, Mike and Cheryl, for bringing it up. But yeah, Celebrity Cruises, not only did they announce that they're going into the river cruise market, but they said that they're going to have at least, what was it, 17 ships or something like that. I think it's fantastic. I think that the market is there and that they should compete. I think they should get in the game. I was listening to Doug's podcast, Cruise Radio. He said something like Viking has something like 90 river cruise ships. So yeah, there's room. I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. Smart, very smart. And yeah, I think the audience is there. I think that they can bring their own special flair to it, and they can bring their own loyal audience from both Celebrity and Royal Caribbean, to be honest. Midge, how are you? That's so exciting. Okay, Midge said, sailing on Celebrity Ascent, Princess Cruise in New England, Canada in August, canceled Newport, Rhode Island. Instead, you're going to St. John. Are you bumming, Midge? Did you want to go to Rhode Island? I'm sorry. All right, so Brett said do the Jameson Distillery Tour, Bill, if you're still here. Oh, wow, Diane. Are you going on Sun next month? Very good. Nice. So Charles has a tip for the person who asked about Oasis of the Seas. If you're okay with a Central Park view, there's a great cabin in Central Park. It's cabin 12229, and it's got a double balcony. That's cool. Another tip from Lisa, Dublin, tickets to the Guinness Storehouse, then do Viator for the Irish dancers. Fun. Awesome. Joe said they're going to do the hop-on, hop-off. And hop-on, hop-off buses are great. You have freedom. You have total freedom. And you know you're going to get back to the ship. So fun, Joe. Wow, you've got some great stuff going. Okay, bye, PJ. You have a good one. Seafood Shack sounds good. All right, cool. I think we're caught up on questions, friends. What do we think? Do we want to go do the Amazon Live after party? This is a different one. It's all about Alaska stuff. You're going to see that we're going to talk about all of these Alaska things. I've got everything from binoculars to bug wipes, hiking boots. I even have some layers for men and women tonight, mostly layers for women, but a few layers for men. I've got outerwear for men. So I want to thank Alex for that that suggestion, and we're going to head on over to Amazon Live. It only takes us a few minutes to just recalibrate our setup and move over there. So feel free to come join us, friends. And again, if you're watching this on replay, you can find that link pinned to the top of the comments, and also in the description. You're going to love being able to actually see all of the Alaska stuff in play. And I even have, even for those of you who aren't going to Alaska, but you want a new toy, I got a new toiletry bag. I kept hearing about this one. This is going to be in that live stream. It's a toiletry bag that has a removable TSA bag, liquids bag, and it's really cute. We do have another question that just came in from Marsha Hamilton. Going on Regal Princess next December for Christmas with 20 family members. Are the shows conservative/family friendly? Yeah, Princess tends to run more family friendly, Marsha. So the cruise lines that do offer more family friendly tend to be Princess and Holland America. The ones that get a little bit more adult, generally speaking, Norwegian caters a little bit more to some of the Broadway style shows, and as a result, sometimes they can climb into the slightly more adult, but usually you're good on Princess. Yeah, I haven't had any raunchy shows on Princess. Obviously, if you're cruising on Virgin, you're going to have that option. Their stuff is pretty adult. And then sometimes Royal Caribbean, sometimes. Midge said what month is usually the driest month in Alaska. You're not going to believe me. It's May. On paper, May is actually the least rainy. My favorite time to cruise to Alaska is the last 2 weeks of Alaska. And one of the things that's great about that is that it straddles Memorial Day. A lot of times people need to take less time off work. It's also way cheaper. Way, way, way cheaper. However, I do not recommend Alaska in April and October. Rocky Seas, very wet in April and very cold. And October can be very windy. So I like to keep people in the May to August, early September time period. But Alaska's funny. You can have a sunny 80-degree day in October. You could have rain in May. But statistically, Midge, the driest month is May. Probably the last 3 weeks of May would be my safer bet. Okay? That's great, Laura. So Vernon wants to know, how many toiletry bags do I have now? I can show you, Vernon, about 1/3 of them. Now remember, I do this for a living. This is maybe 1/3 of the toiletry bags. But remember, I am a host on Amazon Live, and I make packing videos for a living. So I am not normal, Vernon. Sorry. Oh, that's a great question. Linda McCune says, just curious, what is the proper thing to, when you get sick on the cruise, COVID sick? The proper thing to do would be to go to the medical center or call the medical center and say, look, I think I have COVID symptoms. They're probably going to come to your room with a COVID test. And test you, and then they probably will ask you to please stay in your room, and you'll get an expanded room service menu most likely. But that's what you're supposed to do. Do people still do that, Linda? Probably they rarely do anymore because they're so afraid to be quarantined to their room. But yeah. Oh, Sanch621 said, how are the temperatures in the Caribbean in October? October is hit and miss. It can still have a little bit of a summer heat to it. It can be a little rainy, or it can be fabulous and perfect. Kind of the drier months for the Caribbean are more like November through February. I had a lot of rain on my last October cruise in the Caribbean, and it was the Southern Caribbean. It rained every day. It's not supposed to rain at all in the Southern Caribbean. It rained in Aruba. It rained in Curacao. It rained everywhere. And to the point where we couldn't even do, was it Bonaire? We couldn't even do an excursion. It was just pouring. So I'm a little hesitant about October now. I don't know if it was just bad luck, but I'm not a super fan. You're cool, Sanj. I got you. Yeah. You're welcome, Marcia. It's my pleasure. Mike and Cheryl said iffy for October because it's still hurricane season. Yeah, hurricane season runs solidly into November. So that's a good point, and that might be why it was more stormy. Yeah. Linda said, okay, I didn't because my husband didn't want to be quarantined. Yeah. Linda, you got COVID on a cruise. Yeah, it happens. We've all gotten sick on cruises. I've gotten sick more times than I can count on a cruise. It sucks. And, you know, I travel with masks still, but it's awful. I'm sorry. Ooh, Independence of the Seas, Carrie, Royal Caribbean, you need packing help. Where is Independence going? Is it a Caribbean cruise? Carrie? Real quick, Carrie, let me know because we're about to log off. I want to make sure I can help you. Rebecca said going on Disney first week of March. Where are you going, Rebecca? Are you going to the Caribbean? First week of March should be warm and nice. I would say mostly, if it's Caribbean, Rebecca, mostly resort wear, cool cotton clothing that's very breathable, lots of swim cover-ups, dresses that you can wear once to dinner but then wear to the beach the next day. Those are kind of great. You know what? You know one when you find it. And really comfortable worn-in shoes. All right, I'm waiting for Carrie to answer that, and then I'm going to close out our poll. Where's my poll? End poll. Let's see how many people said that they're going to Alaska. Only 35% of you said you're going to Alaska this year out of 100 and, oh no, I'm sorry. 14% of you out of 108 votes said you're going to Alaska. 85% are not doing Alaska this year. Okay. All right. Hey, Jared. I think that we lost Carrie But Carrie, if you're doing warm weather Caribbean packing, definitely go watch our content on YouTube. But better yet, just go to our website and type in packing list, and you're gonna find a gazillion different tips and tricks. And you can also visit our Amazon store to shop for your cruise at amazon.com/shop/cruise tips TV. And there we're gonna have a lot of really cool things for you that are gonna help you as a newbie. Okay, friends, we're going over to Amazon Live now. I just popped the link in one more time. Come on over if you want to shop Alaska with me. And my YouTube friends, I'll see you again next Tuesday. We should be here, same time, same place. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all the great questions. And, oh, podcast coming out tomorrow. Cruise Tips TV Unplugged, anywhere you listen. Go check that one out. Have a good night, everybody. Until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.
Cruise around the week.
Hey, click me to subscribe.